and today we're going to make chocolate plastique, and I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate rose. What you want to do first is get out a scale, turn it on, and get a plate on top of it, zero it out. You need 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Bittersweet will work also. These are guittared semi-sweet wafers that I have here, and you can also use chocolate chips. So I've got 8 ounces of chocolate that I need to melt in the microwave or on a double boiler. Put those in my microwave for 1 minute and then stir to have them melt equally. Over here I've got some corn syrup, and I need 1/3 of a cup of corn syrup to 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. Okay, so I've got the chocolate melted at 1 minute, and I'm going to stir it to incorporate some of that unmelted chocolate. I don't want to get it so hot that it melts completely, because then the chocolate will be hard to work with. So I think I'll put it in for 1 more minute. Okay, so I went ahead and just had it for 20 seconds there. I noticed through the microwave oven window that it was really melting quickly. So I'm just going ahead and stirring down those lumps of chocolate. I want to get it completely smooth before I add my corn syrup. So what we're making today is kind of like a Tootsie Roll. It's a chocolate candy that you can make all different kinds of shapes out of. Bows, ribbons, flowers, any kind of characters for children's cakes. So I'm stirring this with a heat-proof spatula. I've got all the melted bits completely melted, and now I want to go ahead and add that corn syrup. Okay, so get in there with your spatula, get all the corn syrup out of your container, and now mix the two mediums until they're completely mixed together. Okay, so I've got just the chocolate and the corn syrup, and again it was 1/3 of a cup of corn syrup and 8 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. If you're working with a large chocolate bar, you're going to want to cut the chocolate in uniform pieces before melting, and you can melt it in the microwave or a double boiler. Okay, so this is what we're looking at right here. It's a thick mass that I now want to put in some plastic wrap. You can see how it comes easily out of the bowl. And then we need to refrigerate this until it's hard enough to work with. Okay, so just, if you need it right away, flatten it as flat as you can, maybe about 1/8 of an inch. And then we'll get this in the refrigerator till it hardens. And then I will show you how to make a chocolate rose. Okay, so here's our chocolate plastique, or chocolate clay as some people call it. It's firm from the freezer, and I'm just going to go ahead and take some pieces off the edge. Right now we're kind of crunched for time, so I needed to take this out a little bit earlier, but it's better if it's all completely hard. So I want to take, if you are in a rush, you can take the outside pieces that are a little bit more firm and start working with those. And this piece I'm going to go ahead and put back in the refrigerator. I won't need it, so I can let it sit for about an hour in the refrigerator to harden. So I've got my ball of chocolate plastique, and what I want to do is I want to knead it together so it's all the same consistency. Some bits are a little bit hard, some are very soft, so I just want to knead that together. I'm using my fingertips. This is the hottest part of your hand right here, so you really don't want to touch the chocolate clay with your hands, the palms of your hands, because then it will melt. Alright, so I've kneaded this sufficiently. It feels like it's all about the same temperature and consistency. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll it into a log, and about even width. It's about 8 inches there. I'm just going to go ahead and take a paring knife, cut it in half again, and in half again. Okay, so I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 even pieces. And the first thing I'm going to do is just roll this out with my hands. You can see it gets glossy once it touches the warm part of your palm. What I want to do is make petal shapes out of each piece of chocolate clay. I'm thinning out the edges of the petal. Almost looks like a teardrop. And like a flower in nature, the petals are thinner on the outside. So I'm just going to go ahead and prep all of my petals. I made all of my 8 petals here. And what I want to do with the first petal is I want to make a cone out of it. This is going to be our rose bud. So I've curled it in on the left side, almost all the way to the right. And then I'm going to unfurl that petal. Okay, and inside that unfurled petal, I'm going to put the next petal. So rolling that together, still having part of that petal unfurled, rolling it back all the way, almost all the way, and then unfurling it, taking another petal, placing it inside that last petal, curving around, unfurling the petal, placing another one in, pinching that back side together, working quickly so the chocolate does not melt. These are wonderful decorations for cakes. It's nice to put them in the freezer. They last indefinitely in the freezer. So when you're making a cake and you need a quick embellishment, just pop one of these beautiful chocolate roses on your cake and everyone will be amazed. It's so wonderful. They taste delicious, especially if you use a really nice high quality chocolate with lots of cacao. I'm on my last petal. You can see this is kind of a rather large rose, and at this point I can take the back of a paintbrush and maneuver the petal tips so they're a little bit more like nature, curving them a little bit, making sure that cone is upright, and then I can go ahead and squeeze off that big fat base, reuse that for another purpose. And there's my chocolate rose. If you want to add one other finishing touch to this beautiful piece for a cake, you can go ahead and take this edible luster dust. I've got some gold right here, some gold luster dust. You can get this at cake supply stores. And what I want to do is add just a drop of pure alcohol like vodka, or you can use almond extract, that's an alcohol base. So I want to add just a drop of pure alcohol to this edible dust, and these dusting powders come in very many colors, so it's really fun to use as a pastry chef. So here I am gilding the rose, just very lightly painting the gold on the tips of the petal. And this really makes a spectacular centerpiece for your cake or whatever dessert that you're working on that you want to look spectacular. So here's your finished product. It's an edible chocolate rose. Thanks again for watching and good luck.